Hello, grade 6. The lesson today is lesson 5 from module 6, which has the title of one-step division equations. Now, at the end of the lesson, students will use the multiplication property of equality to write and to solve one-step division equations. Now, as you can see here, I can write equation to represent the life problems involving division by using using the keywords in the life problem that help me to decide if this is actually division problem, and then use a variable that represents the unknown quantity. And since here we are talking about division, so we are looking for the the overall quantity or amount. We are looking for a number which is actually greater than the numbers we have. Okay, and the equation itself, when I find the unknown represented by a variable, or actually represent the unknown quantity by any variable, and then when we find out from the problem itself that this is a division problem, I can translate all of this into an equation involving division, and to solve it I will use the multiplication property of equality, or solve it by using multiplication. Let's start with example 1. They say that Benji rode his bike from Pittsburgh to Cleveland over the course of a 3 days weekend, right? So we have 3 days, and his average distance was 48.5 miles each day. So this is the average. This is not the total distance that he rode it. No, they give us actually almost the average that each day Benji was riding his bike. Now, what was the total distance he rode? From the question, they are asking us to find the total distance that when I divide it by 3 days, the average distance each day was 48.5. So this is how we can understand from it that we are looking for a division problem. Now, understanding the problem will help me actually to decide that this is division. I will replace, and the hint that helps me more, or helped me most, was actually the word the total distance he wrote. So we are looking for the greatest number in the problem. So this is actually division. I can put the greatest number, or the variable that represents the total distance, at the beginning of the problem. So I can choose B, for example, to represent the total distance. Now B divided by 3 days gives me 48.5. Since I actually formed the question or the problem, translated into an equation, I can find the answer. Now let's go to the second part from the lesson. To solve division equations, I use the inverse operation, which is actually multiplication. Since I'm talking about division, and I know that division and multiplication belong to the same family, so I will use the multiplication property of equality. I will use the multiplication operation as an inverse operation. Now I will multiply. Since I have a balance, I have an equation, so there is balance between the right side and the left side. So as we said before, whatever you do to any of the sides, you should do it to the other side. Now, for example, solve the division. Solve x over 9 equals 13. Now in this problem, I know it's division because what I have here is x divided by 9. So to get rid of 9 and isolate x alone, I want to multiply all of the equation, right side and left side, by number 9. So I will multiply, as you can see here, I will multiply the right side by 9 and the left side by 9. Then I can just, as you can see here, cross out 9 in the numerator with 9 in the denominator here, and it will be x. X is equal to 13 times 9, and it's actually 117. So this is the final answer. I know it's division from what I see because x is divided by 9, and to get rid, to cross out 9 and isolate x, I multiply it by 9, multiply both sides by 9, and then I will get the answer. Now we will solve more problems, form and write more problems about division in the class, inshallah.